Hey everyone, it's Ivan with KitBadger.com, here to bring you a gear review. Today we are talking about the MSR Miniworks EX Microfilter. Kind of a mouthful, but does a really good job. So when you get this thing, it's going to come in this pouch. One side is mesh, letting water and whatnot drain out. And then inside that, you have the filter. And right here you have this hose with this piece, and this is basically keeping it off the ground, off of rocks. And then within that, you also have a little filter, basically some sponge type material. And that's going to be your line that you drop into the water. And then right here is your pump handle. This piece screws off. This serves a couple different functions, one of which is to check your ceramic filter, make sure it's still good. Sizing gauge. And then also you're going to end up getting the little manual for it. Go ahead and put this in a Ziploc bag if you want to do that. And I don't remember if this came with it or not. It's been like 5 or 10 years, but I believe it came with it. You're going to have a little green scratch pad, like a little Scotch-Brite pad, that guy right there. And this is all you need to maintain it, keep your filter clean. So let's filter some water. One thing I like about these filters is their compatibility with Nalgene bottles. Basically a same thread pitch, so I can go ahead and screw this on, and I'm not trying to hold this over something, trying to filter into it. Then the other thing is, anywhere I have a little bit of water, standing water, I can just drop this guy in there. Whereas I'll be hard pressed to fill my Nalgene bottle. Sure, I could get like a quarter of it and then drink it in a quart, like, no. So I can drop this guy in here, and then I'm just going to start pumping. So if you haven't used this, or if you maintained it and put it away for the season or whatever, you're going to want to pump this thing for probably a good minute before you start actually filtering into this. Reason being, when you clean the filter, for whatever reason, the water coming out pretty much tastes like battery acid. So you just pump this thing for about a minute. After that, throw your bottle on, start going, you're good to go. I've already been out here a day or two, so it doesn't matter. Already got rid of that bad water, and I'll just fill this guy up. As far as pumps, they say about 80 pumps to a liter. I've counted, that doesn't really work for me. What can happen too though is eventually, if you're pumping and the water's moving really slowly, sometimes your filter's just dirty. Like right here, the water's fairly clean, but if you're somewhere where there's a lot of particulates, it'll actually cover this filter, and it's a really easy fix. I'll show you in a minute, but hard pressed to get 80 pumps for a liter. After you finish filling up your water bottle, you're just gonna go ahead and unscrew it from the pump. Throw my lid on here so I don't lose all that work I just did. A little forearm workout. And then you're going to make sure your hose is out of the water and just give it a couple pumps. That way you'll get all the residual water out of it before you stow this thing in your pack. As I had mentioned, if this thing starts kind of bogging down, you might have a bunch of particulates clogging up your filter. It's really tight. There we go. And we take this off like this. And then from this side, we're gonna go ahead and push. Ta-da! We have all sorts of stuff, which is slowing down the flow. And so what I'm gonna do, since I'm gonna spend a couple more days out here, take this O-ring off, wipe that thing down, and I'm gonna use that little scour pad and just gently scrub this stuff off of here. After that, using a little bit of clean water, I'm gonna rinse it off, shove it back in, good to go. When you perform maintenance on this back home after your backpacking trip, you can leave it, water in it, no problem. What you don't wanna do is leave it in there extended period of time without using it. It'll end up mildewing and get gross. So, you end up taking the ceramic filter out, go ahead and boil this whole thing submerged, boil it for, it says in the instructions, like 5 or 10 minutes or something like that. After which, let it cool all the way down to room temperature. Take it out, set it somewhere where it can drain, and just let it dry for about 2 or 3 days. I don't know, 5. I usually leave it there for 5 just because I'm lazy. I'm like, oh, I don't really want to put that away right now. But after you get this thing bone dry, you can put everything back together. This ceramic filter, it's good for about 2,000 liters, and it has ceramic, and then it also has some carbon inside. So the ceramic is going to take you down to 0.02 microns, I believe it is, 0.2 microns. And that's gonna get rid of like filtering bad stuff out. And then the carbon will actually help with any type of chemicals as well as taste. What I do like about this versus like chemical, i.e. like iodine pills and stuff, or even like UV light, is neither of those get rid of particulates or taste, and this does both, which is nice. As I'd mentioned, I'm gonna take this little scratch pad, basically end up scrubbing all that stuff off of it. This will end up reducing the diameter of this, and that's why you have that gauge, that red piece that's on the bottom, to make sure you have enough ceramic that it's gonna filter bad stuff out. I've had this particular filter for going on 5+ years now, I guess, and prior to that I actually had another one of the MSR pump filters. I think it was just the predecessor to this. Dimensionally, it's about 2.5 inches wide by about 7.5 inches long, weighs just over a pound. As far as the actual specs for what it'll filter out, like 99.9999% of bacteria and 99.9% protozoa. Never got sick using it. Makes the water taste better and works good. Made here in the USA as well. Best place I've found to get them is Amazon. 65 bucks, 2-day shipping, free to your door with Prime. And yeah, serves me well in the backcountry. Thanks for joining us at KidBadger.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.